So, moisturizer update. Moisturizer update. This thing is still going. It's still going. It's still going. I actually have some here today, just in case people thought I was screwing around. Like this is some sort of gag or bit. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a live test with you to see if there's anything left. But basically, for those who don't know, I've been squeezing this thing for the past 2 weeks, trying to finish it. Squeezing it for the past 2 weeks. Today's Sunday, so this is the 3rd week now. We'll see if it lasts much longer. But it's been at like there's nothing. There's supposed to be nothing, at least. Like it's empty. But I keep squeezing it, keep squeezing and squeezing, and every day something comes out. And a good enough amount. Like this is enough for my face. I want to start using this. I want to start using this. But I can't until this one is finished. I can't until this one is finished. And it's just refusing. It's refusing to die. It's refusing. It's refusing. And I don't know why. It's unbelievable, dude. I was squeezing it like how would I squeeze it? I'll do it, I'll grab it like this and then squeeze and then it'll come out like, oh, but nothing came out just now. You know. And then the other day I squeezed it like that and nothing came out, so I thought, oh, it's done. I was literally saying it out like, oh, it's done, it's finally done. And then I changed the angle that I was squeezing it and more came out. So with that new angle, I'm getting more quantities. Dude. So anyway, let me apply this to my face. I need to go hang my clothes. And I just used the washing machine. I actually used the washing machine yesterday. Like I left. Anyway. The face has been moisturized. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Let me go hang my clothes. I just hung my clothes in like 10 minutes. I was watching No Headphones ASMR. She released like a 12-minute video. I was listening to that while I was hanging my clothes. And I finished before the video ended. I'm a pro. I make music. 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 I'm doing the song a day challenge where the goes to drop a song a day until the end of the year. I drop 7 songs every Friday. 7 songs. So link in the description if you want to check that out. Link in the description if you want to check that out. Link in description. I was thinking about like, I guess something I think often about, that I've been thinking about for years, is when the hell all this stuff I'm doing is gonna work out. Because there's I don't use the word pressure because look, I don't make it sound worse than it is. I live a very like privileged life, you know. And life is good for me. It's just that I actually like that sound, so I'll keep doing it. The ASMR was the first thing I did that gained any real like traction. I've been releasing music for a while. Writing, I've released books, but I feel like I'm still figuring out the writing side of things. I'm still developing myself there, but music, I've been doing that for a while. Just putting out song after song after song after song after song after song after song. Like officially since like 2019. 2018 I was putting out music, but it was like instrumentals. It still counts as music, but it was like there's instrumentals. So when I started with ASMR, after about a year, I saw things start to. I remember when I started my channel, I was quite consistent for quite a bit, but then I stopped just because I felt like I wasn't growing, and I was like, eh. And then I left for like a month or two. I don't know how long I left for. And when I came back, I saw that I'd reached 100 subscribers or something like that. I don't know, but I saw something that encouraged me. I was like, oh, I should keep doing this. And then, you reach 1,000 subscribers, like, oh my god. Then you reach 2,000, then you reach 3,000, where I'm at now. And you're like, oh, and you get paid. So it was the first thing I did that worked at least a little bit. So I was like, wow, I'm gonna keep doing this. Because I need an escape, man. I need something I can do that I'm good at, and I can work hard in and be productive in. Because everything else, I just feel like I don't have the skill, but the skill you can learn, but the enthusiasm's not there, the motivation's not there. So I just find myself in positions where I'm like, when people say like, oh, I'm glad this thing worked out because I'm not good at anything else. I feel like that. The reason why I'm hesitant to say that is I don't like professing negativity over my life. Like if I have to do something, I hope I can. Like if I have to like work some job somewhere, I hope I can. But what I've found is that I'm very particular with the way my mind works. So I remember when I was working at this video game store, I was just so bad at that job, guys. Oh my god. I was working behind the counter. I'd be forgetting things and I'd be getting overwhelmed, and sometimes when you have to count change and all sorts of things that you have to do, and I just hated it. I hate it. Well, there was this girl there that I was romantically involved with, so that made it fun. Showing up to work, that was something I'd look forward to. See her every day. I was like, yeah, actually that made it work nice, but the actual job, I hated the actual job. Oh my god. And I remember working at a restaurant. I was at cooking school, so you had to, part of the course was working in an actual restaurant. And I was like, no. I like cooking, but I like cooking for my family. There's no pressure when you're cooking for your family. Like you're not rushing to meet some customer's demands and all this sort of stuff. And the restaurant environment is very different to the home environment. So I realized, okay, in my mind, I'm like, I did that for like, how many months did I do that? For 3 months? And I was like, I'm trying to imagine myself in this for like a prolonged amount of time, and I can't picture it. I was very much, Look, I'm not someone who cries. I haven't cried in years. I think the last time I cried was when I watched Toy Story 3. I think. I can't remember. I might have cried after that. It's been many, many years since I've cried. Almost a decade, to be honest. But during my time at cooking school, I almost cried. I don't want to sound like a bitch, but guys, I was so miserable. I was like, I remember like, I was angry because I was like, I just want to make music. And this is like, it's distracting me and it's eating up all my time. But I didn't use that as an excuse though, because what I'll do is, I'm a G. So what I'll do is like, you'd work in the bakery and then you'd work in the actual restaurant, like in the kitchen. My mom is sending me messages. I sent her this funny video and she's just reacting to it. My mom doesn't use the laughing emoji. She doesn't know the difference between the laughing emoji and the smiling emoji. You know, the one that snarls with teeth, like, she uses that one instead of the laughing emoji because she thinks it's the same one. It's very amusing. Anyway. So the bakery shifts were hectic because you have to wake up very early in the morning. You have to wake up at like 5 in the morning, get ready, and then go to school. Your shift starts at 6 in the morning, right? So it was a lot. But I remember what I'd do is I'd wake up, go to the bakery at 6. We'd get the chef at the bakery was very nice. So he'd give us decent breaks, a decent amount of breaks. Well, actually, you get an hour break regardless, but the chef at the bakery would allow you to decide if you're just going to take the full hour. Up to 30 minutes at a time, I think. Not the full hour, but up to 30 minutes at a time. Whereas the chef at the kitchen, at the hot kitchen we call it, he'd say 15 minutes at a time. Like, you can't just take... You didn't even get an hour at the hot kitchen. You got like 30 minutes or something. You did not get long breaks at the hot kitchen. The hot kitchen was hell, guys. Anyway. So what I'll do is, when I'd get my 30, I'd split up my break. So that hour break, I'd split it like 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Whenever I took that 30 minutes, I lived right next to the school, right? So what I'd do is take that 30-minute break, run to I was staying at this guest lodge. I'd run to my room at the lodge, open my laptop, make a beat. The next 30 minutes, write, record. I was working very fast, by the way. I make music very quickly. And through doing that, I made an entire album. I made an entire album through that process. And I think I made more songs. I don't know, I think the album was... I might have made 1 or 2 more songs outside of the album. I can't remember how many songs I made during that period, but I know for a fact that I made an entire album. It's called Au revoir. Oh my god, these birds. We call them hadidas. I can't tell it to shut up, so... ASMR featuring hadidas. We call them hadidas. Anyway, the album's called Au revoir. Au revoir. A-U. That's his own word, A-U, and then revoir is R-E-V-O-I-R. That's French for farewell, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I forgot what the term means. Au revoir. But yeah. But I was juggling school and making music, so I'd just be so stressed out from school, but I'd force myself to make the music. And I realized in that moment of cooking school, oh, music is my thing, because look at what I'm doing to myself. trying to get this done. I'm working so hard. School, music, music. Like every little break I'd get from the kitchen, I'd leave the school, like literally just get out of the school, go to my. I was very blessed that I lived opposite the school, so it was like the school's on one side of the street, my accommodation was on the other side of the street. It was like a school and restaurant, so it was a weird setup, but very, very good. It was one of the most stressful periods in my life, but also one of the most magical periods because it was just in this very picturesque neighborhood, small town. The small town is called Parl, P-A-A-R-L. I actually have a song called Parl that I made this year. It's quite good. You should listen to it. P-A-A-R-L. But anyway, so Parl is like, it's like defined by its mountains and the skyline and wine farms, and it's a small town, so it's got those small town vibes, and these nice restaurants and cafes and families, and it was a wonderful environment. But yeah, the cooking school is not for me, dude. It was really. But in that time when I was doing all this, I realized it confirmed for me that music is definitely my thing. I dropped out. How's it now about this? I dropped out and finished the album. Go listen to it. Au revoir. Stories 2021. I've gotten better since then. I always put these disclaimers when I reference old music, but I just feel like I've improved over time. The Au revoir is definitely like a rap album. Like it's rap, it's pure rap. I don't even think I had a single song on it that wasn't rap. I'm trying to think. I was rapping. But yeah, I remember like there was this guy, Chef, I don't want to say his name, but just because I have no qualms against him, but you know, I don't want to like say his name. Anyway, he's a rough chef. People don't understand the thing about the cooking career, the chef industry. Oh my god, someone's phone is ringing. The cooking industry is very brutal. What goes on in those kitchens, man, is very intense. You have to get orders out very quickly. So there's a lot of yelling and shouting, and if you mess up, pray, man, just pray, because the head chef and the sous chef are gonna chew you out. So it was a very crazy environment. The chef who was working there at the time, he was known for throwing plates at people, swearing at them. He would, after, we called it service, after service was done, like after the day was done, sometimes you'd gather everyone, all the chefs, and just yell at us because this person was making this mistake and this person was making this mistake. And it got to the point where you just dread going to the hot kitchen, like you just dread it. Because you know that this guy is going to be there and he's going to give everyone hell, and you'd hide from him whenever he was around. Like, you just didn't want to, you didn't want him to be seeing and inspecting your work and all this sort of stuff. And it was, everyone was miserable. No one liked being there. It was very intense. But you know, I'll say that with a caveat, some people work well under immense pressure. Like, some people need that, to be pushed that way, because it just brings the best out of them. So I think some people, I don't want to say liked it, I don't think anyone liked it, but some people thrived in that setting. Like they did their best work in that sort of setting. But what I will say is cooks are notorious for drug and alcohol abuse. That'll let you know all you need to know about the harshness of that industry. Because this was like a microcosm. Cooking school and that environment we're in with that chef, it was like a microcosm of what the actual industry is actually like. We're just getting a taste. When you actually start working in these professional environments, it's worse. And people, they consume drugs and alcohol to deal with it. It's very hard, intense, and very harsh, and you just get used to the abuse. Like, it's just non-stop stress, and people have short tempers, and everyone's yelling at each other, and you get hurt sometimes because everything's moving so quickly. So, you know, if you cut yourself, you just have to deal with that. Move on. It's not uncommon to get crazy burn marks, and it's a very intense environment, man. One of the lecturers, he's a chef who teaches us. He told us, like, he used to work on a cruise ship, and one time, this is how intense this industry is, how crazy it is. The head chef was barking out orders that need to get made and then sent out to the passengers to eat. While he was barking out the orders, he had a heart attack and died on the spot. And instead of stopping everything, because the person just died, they dragged his body and replaced him with someone else, and the service continued. Because it doesn't stop for anyone. Like, I'm trying to explain to you how intense this environment is. No one cares about how you feel or anything like that. It's like you get it done. You wouldn't think that, right? It's like cooking, chopping and frying and all this sort of stuff. It sounds cute. No. It's rock and roll. Very crazy intense. It feels like military boot camp, honestly. It was just crazy, man. It was just crazy. It's not for the faint of heart. Let me put it that way. And when I dropped out, I kind of wondered, am I a pussy? Because I dropped out and people stayed. They stayed. Well, to be fair, if I had a choice, I have the best mom in the world. I have the best mom in the world. She's put up with so much of my craziness. Like, she's watched me go all over the place. I was at film school at one point. The only reason I left film school was because you couldn't afford the fees. Like, the fees got hiked at some point. I wasn't happy at film school anyway, but, you know, I would have stayed. But my mom, I saw my mom was struggling to pay. Like, she was. And she had a conversation with me, like, I don't know where I'm going to get the money from, and this is great. So I was like, okay, I can drop out. I can drop out if that's what you want, or if that's what you need. So I did. And she told me after the fact, like, when you did that, when you dropped out, it took so much weight off my shoulders, because I didn't know when I was going to get the money. I was paying for your brother's school and you, and I was so overwhelmed. And when you dropped out, it helped me. So she was struggling. But she saw me go from film school to this, and then to cooking school, and in and out of her, because she has her own business. I was working for her, and then I'd leave, and then work for her again, and then leave. And she's put up a lot of stuff. So when I dropped out of cooking school, she was disappointed, because she was excited for me. She was like, finally, I've got... Because my brother had left school, he was done in school. And she wasn't sure what was going to happen with me. Like, where's this kid going with his life? And then when I enrolled into cooking school, she was like, oh, I found something for him. This is what he's going to do. Because that industry pays very well. If you work in a hotel, if you work in a cruise ship, if you work at some established restaurant or something like that, like, you can earn a great amount of money. And then you can eventually start your own place, and You know, like it's an industry that pays well. Especially these cruise ship gigs. Although they are brutal, you're stuck on at sea for months at a time sometimes. Sometimes you don't even have the option of cellular connectivity, like you can't call people, you can't text people. At times, it's brutal. It's brutal, and you're stuck on this boat with strangers. You get to know them over time, but you see all sorts of crazy shit. Like I told you, the chef, our lecturer was telling us what he was witnessing, and he witnessed someone's arm get chopped off once because of this. I don't know if he witnessed it, but it happened while he was there, because there was these doors that there's a way you're supposed to enter them, and you're not supposed to like move quickly, because they seal in the air, because it's like a fridge. I think it's a fridge of some sort, and the door, when it shuts, it shuts, right? So then the guy was fooling around, and it chopped off his arm. Long story short. And then you have the chef that died, and they dragged his body and replaced him instantly afterwards. And I think they held a service for him afterwards, like they mourned him afterwards. But like the service didn't stop, like the cooking didn't stop for him because he died. Like they're like, no, we'll deal with him later. Everyone keep cooking, everyone keep serving. Like, imagine, dude. I can't imagine that. I can't. Like, I'll be like, someone just died. What the fuck? So that, I don't know if that's the common experience. I don't want to make it sound like people are just dying on cruise ships, but it's intense. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think that's an extreme version, but it's intense, and it's very lonely. You're far away from home, in this very narrow, in this very small space on this boat on the ocean, working very hard, and yeah, there's just little room for your feelings. So it's not for the faint of heart, that line of work, man. Well, what point was I even trying to make? I got lost in telling the story, but yeah, anyway, she let me drop out. So I had that choice. Other kids, well, when we weren't kids, but other people my age, they didn't have that choice of dropping out. So in my defense, I had a choice, and the guy told me straight up, like, I've tried to drop out, but my parents said no. That's what a guy told me. So I realized a lot of us are here not because we want to be, but because we have no choice. And I thought I had no choice. I was like, I can't drop out. I have to stick through this. But then I was like, no, I'll just drop out. You know what it was for me? I was like, I can't do this anymore. I remember I was washing dishes. We just come up with like a crazy service. Intense, getting yelled at, like just it's intense, right? I was washing dishes, and like a little bitch, I was at the brink of tears, dude. Like I was like, oh no, and then like this guy came and tried to talk to me and have a conversation. Like, bro, go away. I'm very emotional right now. I didn't say that to him, but I felt that way, and I think he could see it in my face that there's something wrong with him. So eventually he left, and I was just there like washing my dishes. Washing all the dishes that we'd used for the cooking and whatnot. And I was just there like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore because I'm fucking miserable and I hate it here. And I don't know what the answer to this, what I'm feeling is, but all I know is I can't do more of this. I can't keep subjecting myself. It's not healthy for me. The places my mind is going, and it's just, I'm not feeling good. So I was like, I went home, and also exams were going on at the same time, and it was a mess, dude. There was so much going on, and I was just like, this is my last day. I just knew it. I just knew I'm not coming back here. I'm not going back to that school, which is opposite the road from me. It's very awkward. Because then you see all the classmates and whatnot. It's like, I just knew in my heart, I'm not going back there. I don't know what my excuse is going to be. I started missing days. There were exams. I just didn't go to the exams. I was just distraught. Emotionally, I was just distraught, dude. I was just like, I don't know what my plan is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But all I know is I'm not going back there. I've had enough. And then I called my mom. My mom, I know you've paid, because it's expensive, guys. Cooking school is not cheap. It's not cheap. It's a very privileged, it's a huge privilege to go to cooking school. Let me put it that way. Especially like cooking school in the wine farms and this very posh, not posh, but like, you know, cute environments. It's not cheap. And I call my mom. My mom, I know you've paid a lot of money for this, and I know you've got all these expectations. But I gotta tell you something, man. This ain't it. This is not it. And then what made it like horrible for me is like, the thing I want to do with my life is music. How do you explain that to your mom who's like, who wants you to secure like a stable future for yourself? How do you explain that? It's like that there's you just sound like a loser, dude. You just sound like you're not serious. And I understood that. I'm like, no one gets it. Like, no one gets it. And I mean, I don't expect them to either. From their point of view, I know how it looks. I seem chaotic. I seem like I don't have any direction. But the music is the one thing I've been very consistent in. It's the one thing that I've worked hard in and dedicated myself to and gotten good at it. It's the one thing in my life I'm like, I'm actually good at this. You know? But when you've just dropped out of cooking school and you're abandoning that future that it would have given you, and you're saying the alternative is music, and you know how musicians are, most of them don't make it. The vast majority of them don't make it. Yeah, it's not appealing. So I understood, but my mom was gracious enough to let me drop out, even though I could tell she was disappointed, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible, and my family, my family found out, and I just felt terrible. I felt like a failure, dude. I felt like such a bomb. But I knew I couldn't continue. I just knew that I'm gonna go crazy if I stay here. I just want to make songs. That's what I want to do. So that was a long-winded way of saying, like, although I don't like to say, oh, this is the only thing I'm good at, yada yada yada. I've tried other things and I've been terrible at them. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm praying that this works out. And when the ASMR started gaining traction as well, that made me very happy, because it also became something that was generating income as well, which was a first, like earning money. What? I was very happy about that, even though it's not a lot. It's something. So I'm just praying that, you know, something manifests, that God is kind and merciful and He gives me a way out, so that I can finally be like to my mom, look, it's working. Look, this thing I'm doing it's working, and there's a future here. I'm just waiting for that opportunity, just to be like, look, I don't have to do this or do that, like, because this is working. So I hope, we'll see. I'm just not. I'm not the best in these other environments. Like, I'm just very clumsy and I forget things and yeah, no. But you know, when you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. That's why I'm saying, like, I like to think that if push came to shove, I could do other things. Especially like if you have a family and you have to take care of your family and so on and so forth. Because that gives you motivation, man. Taking care of your family, like feeding your kids, that'll put a battery in your back, for sure. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I rambled. But I feel like I did a good job of rambling and doing triggers, so it's okay. Thanks for watching. You know, I like to pray at the end of all my videos just to impart peace and blessing, all that good stuff, so. Dear God, thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole, unique, and that you're guiding them on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Bless them with purpose so that they know what they're meant to do in this world, in this life, and just help them become the best version of themselves. And that there are people in their life who love them and care for them and help them become the best version of themselves as well. Bless them with gratitude so that they can take stock of all they have and just be grateful for all the good things in their life. And through that gratitude, attract more blessings. So good health, long life, and happiness over this person and all the people they care about. In my name I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.